Alright, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, Connor on Chains. So, we got the market doing what it normally does, absolutely dumping. Just over the last literal 24 hours, we are continuing to see heavy downside. So, if you guys are not familiar, we have the Bank of Japan. This is the USD JPY pair. It's a foreign exchange pair. But as you can see, over the last couple weeks now, we've had the yen really dropping significantly. And why that's important is because we got the Bank of Japan raising interest rates, to 0.25 to tighten monetary policy. So this is the highest level since the global financial crisis in 2008. From a previous range of 0 to 0.1%, the bank in March ended its negative interest rate policy following decades of on and off deflation. So just to tighten up their economy over there, this has had a huge ripple effect already through, again, every single other currency pair, to different countries. It is what it is, but they've decided to do that. And as you can see, obviously the US dollar is now US dollar is not looking good right now. Definitely completely changed, potential bias. Actually, I should have had this drawn up, but we could see the USD continue to crank down, which is kind of where I was mainly looking for it to go down to. But as you can see, the US dollar definitely is losing a lot of strength here, and we may continue to see that now, especially in the short term, but going forward, just depending on what the Fed at the US decides to do now, potentially with interest rate cuts. But that was just something I feel like that was pretty abrupt from the overall market outside of crypto. And obviously we're seeing crypto starting to really dump a little bit more. Bitcoin is now, still chilling under 63,000 now. Even though we got memes still cranking, we got Nero. I think this is one of 8 Nero coins that's been moving. This one I think is on Sol. There's one on ETH, absolutely pumped as well. Because I feel like ETH and Sol, depending on what chain you're trading on, they kind of trade in a different fashion. But like I said, we're seeing everything continue to drop, and more than likely, short term, we probably are just going to continue to chop now after seeing that. But, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of happens in the US here as far as any sort of rate cuts. Anything to kind of counteract what has happened recently. But yeah, that's mainly what I wanted to talk about with this video is, just kind of update the market as well. It was like literally yesterday, everything bounced, dropped down, had a nice bounce up, and now again today, everything is right back down. Just in the last 7 days, it's just been, just bouncing, chop as well. Just really crazy to see. I feel like as soon as we continue to get more optimistic and more optimistic, it's eventually it just, market continues to just go the opposite way. So let me close this out here. As I want to just dive into a few altcoins as well while we're here. Because again, we got AI coins continuing to drop. It seems like they just do not want to stop. It's getting to a point now, though, in a bull run where we technically could still be somewhat in this range, even though we're at previous all-time highs already. To see altcoins and how down bad a lot of them have been and currently are right now, we're going to probably chop for a little bit going forward. But it's really interesting just to see the kind of sentiment right now, because I feel like any sort of retail interest is completely gone. Obviously a ton of different factors for that. Um, and I think that's going to come back at some point. But, my old thoughts about this market being like almost like a moved over or an early bull run. We're going to finish out, this bull run somewhat soon. I'm starting to change my mind on that. We still could be at some sort of first few innings of a potential way longer term bull run than, we're really predicting. Or at least for me, what I personally was predicting. So super interesting. Again, I'm still holding the strong coins, and that is what I wanted to talk about as well. Because again, I know I do bring up many higher risk coins on the channel fairly often, especially a lot of low caps. But now seeing just the current sentiment still very choppy, very sideways. To me, I don't know 100% in the very short term if there's going to be a full recovery now. Just seeing a bunch of this stuff going on, outside of crypto. Usually dips are for buying, right? But I mean, you just see in the last 7 days, everything is down minimum 5 to 15%. So I definitely recommend, obviously I'm still in the market, nothing's changed, I haven't sold, my bags or anything like that. I'm going to continue to hold and add to top quality projects, regardless of what happens. I'm here for a bull run long term. That's literally why I'm in the market now and going forward for the next few months, next year, how long it takes. I'm here for this bull run. And like I said, I think it's very important right now to be focusing on very strong, high conviction coins going forward. We're even seeing MOG down a pretty good amount. But again, for the most part, any sort of longer term coins that I personally like, I genuinely do not care about price action, because at the end of the day, like I just stated, I'm here for the long-term bull run. I know where this market will be at some point, but at this point it's kind of just a waiting game. That's at least how I'm looking at it. But for memes, obviously MOG, Retardio, Mumu, those are literally my 3 favorites on Ethereum and Solana. Some gaming coins as well. Definitely going to be interesting, again, to see what happens now short term, what kind of plays out. But, Ka and Warped, Moontropic is now down 20%. So potentially even more of an area for an entry, which is really good. But like I said, I'm just going to continue to add to my long-term conviction plays. More than likely, we'll be staying away from a lot of higher risk plays until I know for a fact that market conditions are going to be turning around. And that's what I recommend to most of you. Same thing. I think I covered something like this in a video about a week ago. But I think it's going to be important going forward right now that the uncertainty is very strong right now, at least for the short term. So I'm going to pull this up too. I actually haven't checked, so let's see what this is. But yeah, so that's kind of what the market is doing. That's how it's going right now. So it's still kind of in the middle. So more than likely, maybe we'll see this pull back into the orange, maybe into the red at some point. As far as short-term price action moves for the whole market, it's very hard to say at this point what's going to happen. A lot of, my Twitter feed right now is, people are saying, oh, wow, it's, we're at the next COVID crash, and I don't think it's that bad, not even close right now. But, I'm not saying that I can't get there. It's very uncertain going forward, but like I said, I'm here for this bull run. Continue to stack very strong coins that you believe in. You can steal my conviction, jump into the coins that you guys know that I really like. And, just going forward, it's just slow accumulation. Because I want to show you guys what it's going to look like once we finally do take off, and again, I have firm belief at some point we will have a liftoff phase in this market, but it's just going to be from when. So I'm going to show you guys, again, let's look at, I'm trying to think of like a good coin. I like to use Uniswap sometimes, because I feel like, you know, they did launch somewhat early, or not early, just right before the previous bull run. But like, I'd actually like to pull up a coin that was, I know for a fact was there even earlier. So let's do VeChain maybe. So VeChain was a very popular coin in the last bull run. So maybe they don't have it. I guess I could just pull it up here. But just to give you guys like some, you know, just some outlook. So VeChain was here basically throughout this whole bull run, right? You know, and this is where I've been thinking we potentially could be in a phase like this here. You know, even though it seems like we've had so many altcoins, you know, make unbelievable moves to the upside, I think we still have a massive run incoming for a ton of projects. Wow, this is my old this is my old portfolio. I forgot that was in here. Wow, that's looking good. Nice bag. But anyways, that's from last bull run. Anyways, we had you know, looking at it, obviously this was the last bull run, right? Or last bear market. And then what happened during the COVID, well, actually, I don't want to get demonetized or anything, but at this point I already said it. The last crash, you know, VeChain literally dumped. Actually, I was gonna say we can zoom in here. You know, it dumped from 0.0082 all the way to 0.0024. So that's like a 50, 60, 70% drop, right? You know, we saw everything just dump, continue to dump. You know, had a rally, kind of fell all the way back down. I feel like a lot of alts are kind of in this position here. Specifically looking at a bunch of charts, you know, Ori chain, in my opinion, looks like we're at something like this. You know, it's not past, it's old, previous all-time highs by any means. There's another coin as well, but I still feel like, you know, we potentially could be at some sort of area like that. You know, I mean, I think a lot of coins have had a huge run already, and there definitely is going to be a ton of room to the upside for a lot of coins. But, you know, looking at time frame, you know, maybe some of these coins, you know, had a run like this, came back down, sitting, and now we still got huge runs like this left for a lot of them. Again, I'm just trying to show you guys like what I still personally believe, or if we zoomed out, if we go into the future 2 years from now, and then we zoom out and look at the past bull run, like if this was, instead of 2019 to 2020, this is like 2023 to 2025, you know, like what the chart would look like. And this is what I kind of feel like it would look very similar to, you know. You know, we're super concerned, worried right now. Even though we're at all-time highs already for Bitcoin, alts have gone up like crazy, they've come down. You know, we're still in like this pre-bull run phase at the same point, where we could potentially still have a ton of upside for a lot of our coins. That again, if we zoomed out, you know, the moves that we stress about right now, you know, almost look like nothing. You know, because when retail really comes back, when Bitcoin finally goes into 80K, 90K, 100K, 110K if it gets there, you know, alts are going to have a huge pump across the board. Retail interest will spike again. You know, and that's where we're going to see like real moves happen. You know, again, not every single coin is A, going to recover, and B, make insane moves like this. I mean, this is VeChain. Actually, I don't know why the market cap's not showing up here. I mean, because it shows the price. Again, let's say it's around a penny. But this is actually when I think I initially jumped in the last bull run. You know, it went from a penny to what, 20 cents? You know, 20, 24 cents. And I remember in this time frame, I thought I was like late to the game, you know, because I didn't know anything about the crypto market last bull run. I got in at a great time, literally in, I think, July, August, September, October, November. I was throwing COVID checks into a bunch of random coins. VeChain and Cardano were some of my biggest holdings in the last bull run. You know, and those still ended up making, insane moves. Yeah, so this just doesn't have the market cap. It's odd. But I think this went to multi-billions. I mean, it's currently at 2 billion right now. But yeah, from a penny, I think I got in at 1 cent and 2 cents, some of my entries, and still at a minimum a few hundred million to maybe I don't know how many. I'd say minimum 500 million to a billion in market cap already, and it ends up going into 10 to 20 billion, right? Just to give you guys some idea of some size, and then especially with a lot of coins that we're dealing with a lot of lower caps, so they have a ton of room to grow. Granted, this was one of the top 100 coins, right? Same with Cardano in the past. But like I said, I still feel like we're just in this, potentially in some sort of pre-bull run move. Even though we've had a major run for alts and they've pulled back, I still think we got a huge run ahead of us for a lot of alts, and it's just going to be a game of withstanding the moves in the short term, to then reap the rewards once we finally break through and really see that, the golden bull run that we're all waiting for, right? So again, that's what I'm waiting for. Like I said, MOG has been down. I guess we got 2 coins. Is that 2 narrows or 2 different pools? I assume maybe it's 2 different pools. Just lots of coins are at huge discounts. This video, I'm not making this video to, bring up, 20 different coins to buy. But, I guess it was just a pretty big thing to see in the market, just in the last 24 hours, for it to continue to be dumping and dropping pretty hard. I just wanted to put a little update out. Just showing you guys just a bunch of random stuff. Again, I'm kind of just checking this out. This one's fairly bottomed out. I've heard a lot of good things, but I don't know too much in depth with their tokenomics and stuff like that. I'd have to dive deeper. But outside of that, guys, that's kind of what I wanted to cover today. I said I was going to do a runes video, and that is still coming, but I felt like this was important to cover on the channel at least today. So again, just expect that. Maybe when market conditions again are a little more sideways, whether it is tomorrow or the day after. Again, I just felt like the market again was dumping pretty significantly today. But at this point, I think just being in high conviction bags, I personally am not too worried. I think most of at least the worst of the chop, I think we've gone through already for the most part. Maybe at the worst case now, maybe we do come down potentially to 60K, maybe low or high 50s. We bounce again. I still think we have some sort of bounce here. I don't think this is just going to continue lower, and drop below 55, go into 50K. It's possible. Again, that's part of crypto, is understanding the potential risks and the potential directions the market can go at any time. But again, I still think we have more so upside from here in the short term, at least a little bounce versus, continued heavy dumping again. But at the same point too, even if we do correct, yes, alts are going to get slaughtered even worse than they already are. But I think that'll be very, very healthy for the rest of this bull run going forward. And that would actually kind of confirm my own thoughts of how we're still kind of in this pre-bull run phase. I feel like if we did drop to 45, 50, 52K, something like that, I think a lot of people would really consider the bull run over. But to me, that would almost confirm that, this bull run is actually now about to get fully started, because we have finally had that last major move of capitulation to the downside, and we'd probably bounce from there, go sideways, double bounce, and then shoot up from there. That would be my best guess going forward. But again, it's still just, this market is absolutely ridiculous, guys. I don't blame anyone. If you guys are just stressing out, if you're down on any sort of bags, I think everyone in the market is heavily down on, at least some of your investments, especially higher risk stuff, including myself, But it's just going to be just a waiting game from here, in my opinion. So, like I was saying before, focus on long-term conviction bags. Don't be aping into, micro cap, shit coins on Sol every day, unless you have a good strategy for it. Focus on your conviction bags, targeting the next leg up, That is what I'm mainly focused on. That is 95% of my portfolio anyways right now. Even though some of my high conviction coins are lower caps, I'm going to just slowly continue to add and add and add and just wait for that next leg. So as of right now, that's what is going on. I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.